Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to decipher what companies are really saying in those massive reports they file with the government. Today we're diving into a report from Oramed Pharmaceuticals, and let me tell you, it's got a twist involving international deals and another company that might need a little help from its parent. It's like a corporate drama unfolding right before our eyes, but don't worry, we'll break it all down in plain English. Oramed is an Israel-based pharmaceutical company that has been working on an oral insulin capsule named ORMD-0801. In this report, the main news is a licensing agreement. Let's see what it's all about. The big news here is that Oramed is involved in a deal regarding a drug called ZTlido, which is used to relieve pain, which is done with a company called Scilex Holding Company. Now, back in October of 2024, Oramed and some other investors made an initial agreement, or term sheet, with Scilex. This outlined a plan for licensing ZTlido in countries outside the US. Now we're seeing the finalized version of that original deal. To handle this international licensing, Oramed and its fellow investors created a new company called RoyaltyVest in January of 2025. It's based in the British Virgin Islands. Think of RoyaltyVest as the entity that will actually hold the license for ZTlido and handle its distribution outside the United States, and for Gloperba and Elixib, other medications it might be involved with. It's like setting up a new branch specifically to manage this particular deal. Oramed owns 50% of this RoyaltyVest and gets to decide half of who sits on the board of directors. Now let's talk about the actual licensing agreement. On February 22, 2025, Scilex Pharmaceuticals, which is owned by Scilex Holding Company, made an agreement with RoyaltyVest. The agreement is about using services, products, and different forms of lidocaine, which is what ZTlido uses to relieve pain. Basically, RoyaltyVest gets the rights to ZTlido and another product called SB103 outside of the US in an area called the Lido licensee territory. This agreement replaces the initial term sheet they had. Under the Lido license agreement, RoyaltyVest gets the exclusive right to do pretty much everything with the Lido product like ZTlido in most countries outside the US. This includes making it, getting approval from regulators, selling it, and so on. In return, Scilex gets a license to RoyaltyVest's patents which allow it to continue to develop, manufacture, and commercialize ZTlido in the United States. This deal also says that RoyaltyVest and Scilex will split the money made from ZTlido, which is called net revenue, 50-50. RoyaltyVest will pay Scilex its share every 3 months. The Lido license agreement also requires RoyaltyVest to push to get the approvals needed to sell the Lido product in at least one major country within 18 months of the deal's start date. They also need to spend $200,000 each year towards these approval efforts until they get the green light to sell ZTlido outside the United States. Scilex, on the other hand, is required to try and maintain the existing products in the United States. Scilex also needs to help RoyaltyVest by introducing them to the manufacturers that make the Lido product. The goal is to get these manufacturers to work directly with RoyaltyVest to keep the supply of ZTlido going. On top of all this, Scilex is making RoyaltyVest the only company that can distribute Lido products in the area outside the US. This agreement between Scilex Pharmaceuticals and RoyaltyVest will continue until the last of the licensed patents runs out, unless they decide to end it sooner. Now, because Scilex Pharmaceuticals is part of Scilex Holding Company, there's another agreement to ensure everything goes smoothly. Scilex Holding Company, which is the parent company, is providing what's called a parent guarantee. This guarantee basically means that Scilex Holding Company is promising to make sure that Scilex Pharmaceuticals does everything it's supposed to do under the licensing agreement with RoyaltyVest. It's like having a cosigner on a loan. According to the parent guarantee, Scilex needs to inform RoyaltyVest if there is any change of control of Scilex Pharma, which includes a takeover. If this happens, the parent guarantee ends. So what's the big picture? Oramed is trying to grow by getting involved with drugs beyond its own oral insulin. Partnering with Scilex and setting up RoyaltyVest is a way to grab a share of the market for ZTlido outside the United States. For Oramed, this partnership could mean new revenue streams and a step toward becoming a more diverse pharmaceutical company. However, there are potential problems. RoyaltyVest needs to hustle to get regulatory approvals and manage distribution, and any hiccups there could slow things down. On top of that, the success of this deal depends heavily on Scilex, and any issues on their end, such as a change of control, could affect the agreement. Oramed's financials are not deeply discussed in this report, so it is difficult to assess how significant this arrangement can be. Looking ahead, Oramed's move into licensing and distribution is interesting but comes with risks. The success of this venture will depend not only on Oramed's ability to manage its partnership with Scilex, but also on RoyaltyVest's ability to execute its part of the agreement. Overall, Oramed is trying to grow, but with a licensing deal that has its own set of challenges. Thanks for watching Corporate Decoder. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us keep digging into these corporate documents to bring you the stories behind the filings.